that if it wasn't a flag for you, then how important was it to your mind that this information be released in those briefings, and why was it important to you?
It wasn't important whether or not it was released.
It's not important, guys, that if it was released after what you just heard.
Dad?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye. That's why I can't do videos. Kids! Oh, I like that. Clinton Jaws. I told you guys if secret audio recordings, if they were to come out, I would do another video. The secret audio recordings came out. Recording partial, I don't want to summarize this, guys. You already know it, right? Brenda Lucki, RCMP Commissioner, she has a meeting in April 2020, right after 22 people were murdered. And she kind of gives it to her group of cops because they're not doing things right. She doesn't like what they're doing. So she gives them heck, she gives them a little bit of hell. And now this is like a famous moment in history over this meeting, just this meeting, on what was said. One group says one thing, the other group says another thing. Brenda Lucki testifies. She says a bunch of things. Nobody knows the truth. Somebody's lying. And I said, months ago, I said, you know what? I guarantee you, I bet that meeting was recorded. Yeah, wouldn't you? Did she? Did she raise it? You know, I'm gonna put money on it. No, I'm not. Was that meeting recorded? Are we gonna hear a piece? I think I might record that meeting if I was in it. I think I might just hit record on my tape recorder. Why wouldn't I? Wouldn't it be something if a recording popped up after all this? Now, the lawyer Scott, okay, his last name's Scott, I think he watches my channel. I hope he watches my channel. Because after I said that, he asked the cop the question, was the meeting recorded? And the cop goes, yeah, somebody recorded, but then deleted it on Brenda Lucki's side. They record it and then delete it. And he's like, well, get the deletion back. Is there not an investigation? So what do? They get the guy's phone and they recover 3 recordings from the meeting. It's about 20 minutes long, these recordings. It's not the whole. It's not the whole meeting. It's partially. And let's just open it right up. Let's open it up right now. Let's just dive right into it. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, but it has to do with political interference. We think the Trudeau government, some people think the Trudeau government interfered with the, go away. We think the Trudeau government interfered with the police's investigation because Trudeau is days away through pushing this gun legislation. So he wants the details of the guns that Wortman used. The police officers that are doing an investigation are saying, no, we can't give that to you. We're still working on that part of the investigation. Trudeau's side is really digging. They really want it. This is what it appears. They really want the information. It's going to make them look good. It's going to pass their gun legislation, go smoothly. It's going to be to their benefit if this group was to release the details of the guns. Brenda Lucki heard that that's what they were going to do at a news conference. They don't release the information of the guns, and she loses her on this group. She's really upset. She's really mad. Well, it's up to you. You listen to the recording. You tell me if she's mad or upset. But she doesn't like it. She doesn't like the fact that she told them. She told Blair in the Trudeau group that, yes, we're going to release the information, but they don't. So she has this meeting and kind of hammers them. She testifies at the Mass Casualty Commission saying, I didn't really care. It wasn't a big deal. You know, I just wanted to know if they were going to. Okay, I was upset. I was a little upset because I told the Trudeau government the wrong thing. I told the Trudeau government that they were going to release the gun information, and they didn't. I don't know. The whole thing is stupid, really, when you think about it, and I can't believe I've been talking about it for this long. But was there political interference? Did Brenda Lucki interfere with that side of the investigation? Did the Trudeau government interfere? They want to prove, one side wants to prove, that the Trudeau government was meddling and digging to benefit themselves over something so tragic, which is pretty gross. They want to use the murdering of 22 people to help out their gun legislation. Man, I came down here. I thought I was going to do a 10-minute video. I'm already out, just about at 10 minutes. 4 at least. I'm going to play the recording. But do you remember when Brenda said this when she was testifying?
It was a request. Can this information be released publicly at
No.
the press conference? No.
No, it wasn't that.
It was never a request. It was never a request by them. Okay? Remember that? Part 1 of the recording, the very beginning. Listen to this.
It up to flagpole because it was a request that I got from the minister's office.
What? What do you... Did she just say she got a request from the minister's office? When you testified, you said there was no request. You said no. We gotta listen to it again.
From the minister's office. And it flew it up to flagpole because it was a request that I got from the minister's office. And I shared with the minister that in fact it was going to be in the news release, and it wasn't. And so I feel really, I was very frustrated.
I don't know. Maybe that's not a big deal, but I thought she denied that they requested anything.
It was a request. Can this information be released publicly at
No.
the press conference? No.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Well, according to the secret recording, that's exactly what it was. Let's move on. And let me tell you something, man. I am so tired of talking about her. I really am. Part of me feels terrible, and I think it's because I used to be a police officer. I was RCMP. You always respected the commissioner. And here I am. Like, in some videos, I really gave it to her. And I don't like it. And part of me was wrong, too. Part of me was wrong after I reviewed the videos. I wasn't fully right with what I said. Lots wrong, okay? I'm admitting that. I'm not going to play this whole recording because it'll be here forever.
Very disappointed, and I was feeling quite disrespected by what happened today, and probably some of the stuff that's happened this week.
That's accurate. I was disappointed, disrespected. We knew that was said.
And probably some of the stuff that's happened this week. The flow of information has been very difficult. And I respect the command triangle. I respect the protocol around keeping certain information back so that you keep the integrity of the witnesses. I've been there. I've been involved in those kinds of investigations, so I respect that. But it's been difficult. I also respect the fact that I've been involved in investigations where I get a daily sit rep. I've only gotten 2 sit reps in this entire flow of information. I was promised a chronology on Thursday afternoon for the minister and the prime minister, and I didn't get that either. And I had to tell them that I couldn't get them a chronology of something that happened 4 days ago, with a caveat that it might have changed. But I couldn't give them a map. I didn't get a map, and I didn't get the chronology either. And so it's pretty difficult when you have to tell, I have apologized to the minister. I'm waiting for the prime minister to call me so I can apologize. And I'm telling you, it's not about me. I could care less that I have to apologize for me dropping the ball. It's about the reflection of our organization.
I'm just curious. What does she have to apologize for? Testing. She has to apologize to Trudeau and Bill Blair. Why? Why do you have to apologize? That's weird.
It's about a reflection that makes it look like we don't know what we're doing. And
You don't know what you're doing.
I love my organization, and like I said, I can take it on the chin several times. It's not at all about
Well, okay.
me.
It's not about her, guys. Really?
I'm saddened that...
There's that word. Remember that word? Saddened. She's saddened, disappointed, and disrespected.
Will tell me that they can give me this information, and I then cannot produce it. And this has happened now 3 or 4 times. That they can give me this information. It's not at all about me. I just am saddened that people tell me that they can give me this information, and I then cannot produce it. And this.
She's sad because somebody told her that, yes, we will release those gun details, and then they can't produce it. That makes her sad. She's dropped the ball, and now she has to say sorry to Trudeau and Bill Blair. But it's not about her. Keep in mind, guys, this group hasn't done anything wrong. Keep that in mind. We find out who the culprit is, who made the big mistake.
I felt completely disrespected by the fact that I was told that Darren was going to talk about the guns in his speaking note. And as soon as I got confirmation, I advised the minister's office, and then it wasn't there. And so I don't know what's happened, but I think...
Isn't that a weird way to do it? I don't know what's happened, but I'm going to give you hell anyways. Why don't you find out what happened and then decide if you want to give them hell? She just admitted, I don't know what happened. Well, she's going to find out what happened.
We have to do better.
It was her side of the team that screwed up. And she's telling them that they have to do better. Think about that for a second. Now I knew it. This is going to be a long video. Just thought of that. I don't know what happened. Yeah, you do. You know exactly what happened. But you need to do better.
I think we have the communication between headquarters and each division has not been good. And trying to get information, this is the first time that I've had to actually make phone calls myself to try to get information because the people around me were also getting blocked by getting information. So I think we have to figure out how we can do better on this. And so I'm open to suggestions, and I'm going to end my conversation. I'm going to end with it and pass it over to whoever wants to speak.
Okay, well, I'll start off, and I'm sorry that you're feeling disrespected because certainly that wasn't the intention. I'm doing a little bit of catch up here myself because I was on the road.
You guys got to understand. She said, "I'm sad. I feel disrespected. You guys aren't doing a good job." I don't know. She's blaming the wrong group. That's the embarrassing part, really. That's bigger than. Oh, God. Bosses. Do they ever get it right? Really, do they? They don't get it right. So many times in my career. Glad you're doing this. They give you hell, and then you straighten them out. You have to straighten them out. And they never take fault for it. Oh, okay. Thanks for clearing that up. There's never an apology.
And as far as the guns and the type and what was seized and what we were comfortable saying, there's a reason for that, and do we want to expand on that?
Oh, I understand the reason. I wasn't asking for anybody. I get that. I completely understand the reason. What I don't get is that I was told that there was a certain line that was going to be used. It eventually was used in a question when asked for a question, but I was expecting it to be part of the narrative that went forward, and it was only by fluke. Had the question not been asked, nothing about the guns would have been mentioned. And I was told that it would be mentioned.
So this group's sitting there going, we were never going to mention anything about the guns. So why are you giving us hell for not mentioning it? Like this group feels like they're in the Twilight Zone. They're like, what are you talking about? We never told you we were going to mention anything about the guns. And she's like, you guys, you should have, what do you think you're doing out there? And
and
I also want you guys to hear this part, okay?
As far as the guns and the type and what was seized and what we were comfortable saying, there's a reason for that, and do we want to expand on that?
There's a reason why we didn't want to release the details of the guns. That's what they said to Lucki. This is what Lucki says.
Oh, I understand the reason. I wasn't.
She understands the reason. She understands the reason, guys. Then why are you upset? Why are you surprised and shocked? Well, I was told that you were going to do it. Don't be so dumb. Who cares that you were told that? Whoever told you that? You understood the reason why Darren Campbell wasn't going to release the details of the guns. But she continues to talk about it. Even though she understands the reason why they didn't release the details of the guns, she continues to talk about it. Continues to influence. You just heard that, right? Now listen to this. This is what she testified to. Testified?
It was over, and I said, yeah, they're not talking about that. And it was actually at that meeting on the 28th when Darren Campbell told me that it was part of another investigation. So that's when that was the end of it.
That's the meeting. that you just heard. Darren Campbell told me at that meeting that's when I learned about it. And that was the end of it. But she keeps on talking about it for another 15 minutes in these secret recordings. I don't even know if I'm getting my point across. That's the end of it. I just told them that's the end of it. I was good with it. The moment Darren Campbell said, hey, it's part of an investigation. Oh, I said, okay. Now I get it. Oh, there's more. There's more.
Casualty Commission, the suggestion was as soon as Darren Campbell said to you, this is part of an active investigation, that's why I don't want to disclose it. Your response was, that's it, I don't need it. I asked for it because the government wanted to know if it was coming up, but if you're telling me that this is for an active investigation, that's it. I'll report that back and we'll never ask for it again, right?
Yeah. No, it's not how it went. It's not how it went.
In your interview with the Mass Casualty Commission, what you said, and I'm at page 38, as soon as he said that, that was it. You know what? Don't need it. Don't need any information on the guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. The reason I'm showing you this part is because the recording, she keeps on talking about it. The moment Darren Campbell, the moment she realized that they couldn't divulge the details of the guns, she didn't go, oh, that's it. No, okay, I fully understand now. I fully understand why you didn't divulge the details of the guns. That totally makes sense. But she doesn't stop there. She keeps on going. She said this months ago, like half a year ago. I don't even know. July 25th?
You know, in the asking of the question, could you infer that this is a result they actually wanted to see happen at the news conference given by the RCMP?
I didn't think at all. It was a question. I provide an answer. So if somebody says, we cannot release that information because of A, B, and C, that's it. I don't even ask anymore.
Well, Darren Campbell did it, so why'd you keep on asking? Why'd you keep on talking about it?
And that's the beauty of the way we do it is because it's not my information to release.
I don't know how you can understand it, Brenda, and then scold them for it. That makes no sense to me.
I was told that there was a certain line that was going to be used. It eventually was used in a question when asked for a question, but I was expecting it to be part of the narrative that went forward, and it was only by fluke. Had the question...
Okay, you guys got to understand, she's upset. She's pretending to be upset. I'm sorry, but she is. She's pretending to be upset at them because she was told information. She was told that you guys were going to say this in this public hearing to the media, and you didn't. And I told them that you were gonna, and you didn't, and you made me look bad. She's pretending to be upset over that. But you'll find out in the recording, if you keep on watching me, what she's really mad at.
That it would be mentioned. Nothing about the guns would have been mentioned. And I was...
That's so bizarre. She's upset over one sentence that they eventually did, I guess, talk about because somebody asked it in a question. But she's upset with them. Oh my God. Because they didn't use it in their narrative. Why would you be mad at this? Why would you be upset? Nobody in their right mind would be upset with something like this.
Told that it would be mentioned.
Okay.
Flew it up to...
You know what's funny? That's part one, guys. The guy recording it shuts it off. I don't know why. So let's go to part two.
My intention was not to disrespect. I will own the fact that that was not included or adjusted in his remarks.
It wasn't my understanding in prepping with Darren that was going to be the statement itself was going to change.
Yeah, and Darren, sorry, go ahead. Does anybody realize what's going on in the world of handguns and guns right now?
What's that?
The fact that they're in the middle of trying to get a legislation going.
Oh.
The fact that that legislation is supposed to actually help police.
Really? How?
And the fact that the very little information I asked to be put in speaking notes at around 11:30 this morning is when I started this, which was 3 or more hours before Darren was to speak, could not be accommodated. The fact that I asked almost 8 hours before for a chronology and a map couldn't be.
Who cares about a map? I thought that was it. Once Darren said this to you, the reason why he's not going to divulge the details, I thought that was going to be it. Oh, okay, I get it. That's it now. No. We're in part 2 of the recording, guys. This whole meeting is about the guns. Basically. She's still upset. Does that make any sense? Why would she be upset at that?
Does anybody realize what's going on in the world of handguns and guns right now?
What? That bad guys have them? That bad guys gets them from America and brings them over? That good guys with guns are responsible? Like, what are you talking about? Why would she all of a sudden just listen to complete common sense from this group and then all of a sudden just switch to, does anybody realize? I don't care about any of that. I don't care about the investigation. I don't care about anything that you just said. Does anybody understand what's going on with handguns in the world today in Canada? Influence. She's influencing them. Oh, God. So dumb.
The fact that they're in the middle of trying to get a legislation going.
They're in the middle of trying, because they haven't done it yet, to get a legislation going. And do you know how much it would have helped them if you released the details of the guns to the media? That's why I'm mad. Because I had my name on it. I've been helping them for 2 to 3 years with this. And you guys couldn't do that for me? Do you remember when she said this?
What is the connection? What is the connection between that legislation and what happened here in Nova Scotia, beyond the fact that firearms are involved?
I wouldn't do it justice to make that connection for you.
Can't make the connection, guys, when she just connected it during the meeting. Does anybody know what's going on in the world today with handguns? She didn't know the connection, but she made the connection in the meeting. But she plays dumb. Oh, big deal, right?
Could not be accommodated. The fact that I asked almost 8 hours before for a chronology and a map couldn't be provided in 8 hours, but yet it could be provided on the 9th or 10th hour when it was too late. 4 days or 5.
Hey, guys, got to understand something right now, okay? You know where she is right now? When she's giving them it, she's at home. Because it's COVID. And she's got to be at home when all the other cops are working. All these cops are working. And she's at home. So she's probably laying in bed talking to them. You know what? The fact that I told you at 11 and you didn't do it 5 hours later. How dare you? She's probably drinking wine right now. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, I'm a quarterback. What do you call it? Armchair quarterback? But she takes the cake on this. Just sitting back, and she's so busy. She's so busy. She's got so many things to do. Well, she's working from home, guys. You had to work from home? Really? Who told you that you had to work from home? Who told you that you couldn't hop in a plane, fly down there? Oh, was there restrictions? Were you not allowed? Bull. Trudeau does it. The president does it. You're the commissioner. You could have hopped in your stupid plane. Sorry, I went off there. Just so dumb. I couldn't imagine.
After the event. So does anybody wonder why I feel frustrated or I feel like I'm not being heard?
Does anybody wonder this?
Which makes me feel disrespected. Is anybody seeing that, or is it just, am I being oversensitive?
That's actually a pretty good question. I like that question. Because she's being fair there, right? She's being honest. She's being real. Am I just being overly sensitive? She's basically saying, and I wish somebody would have said, yeah, you're being a little bit insane. Slightly insane. But nobody does. But it's actually it's an honest, it's a good human trait that she has that she said it that way, and that just grossed me out.
It's Darren Campbell here. I just want to let you know that we had conversations with comms in and around the guns as if it was going to be a question asked. I wasn't given any kind of updated insertion on the weapons, so that never even made it into the notes that I was provided in terms of what I was going to deliver today. I didn't get any request from anybody for a timeline for this today at all, so I haven't seen.
No, not for today. This is for last Thursday. I'm just I had referred to that event because that happened to me last Thursday where I had requested a timeline and a map. So,
well, all I can say is we worked tirelessly, all of us, on providing a proper and accurate timeline with
This is Lia Scanlan.
so much information coming in and getting an accurate map with national headquarters as well, with the equipment we had, which is why we ended up with such an excellent product. I realized that there was request for it to be done Thursday, but with what we had and we were putting all the effort in, we couldn't get it all done on Thursday, but had the product ready to go, an accurate product on Friday. And that's not because we're all sitting here doing nothing. We're trying to put it all together with a lot of information.
Yeah.
I would never accuse you of sitting around and doing nothing.
Yeah.
My point is, we worked really hard on it to meet the deadline, and we couldn't meet it with the information that was coming in and still wasn't available to provide a proper, accurate timeline at the deadline on Thursday.
Part 3 is coming up, guys, but do you remember when Brenda said this?
To be fair, you were more intimately involved with that pending gun legislation than simply being aware that it was part of the minister's mandate, weren't you?
No,
Of course she was. That's why she was angry. Do you guys understand what they're trying to do? They're trying to make Canada safer. We've been working on this for years, guys. They want to push Trudeau's legislation, gun legislation through, and you're wrecking it. Don't you understand that this is going to make Canadians safer? No, I wasn't intimately involved in it whatsoever. Not true.
In the asking of the question, could you infer that this is a result they actually wanted to see happen at the news conference given by the RCMP?
I didn't think at all. It was a question. I provide an answer.
She had no idea, guys, why they would ask that question, why the Trudeau government would ask. Hey, how about you guys include the information about the guns? She has no idea. I didn't even think. But yet she's at a meeting saying, do you guys not understand what's going on here? Okay, so we got a lot of things going on in Canada, handguns. Handguns are a big problem in Canada. People are running around. Bad guys are running around Canada with handguns. They're trying to push this legislation through. If you guys would just release this information, the details of the guns, Canada will be so much safer. But you guys refuse to do it. You're making me look bad. You're making the Trudeau government look bad. I'm a liberal, guys. Okay? I believe in what my boss does, Trudeau and Bill Blair. And you guys are ruining me looking good in front of them. How dare you?
I didn't think at all. It was a question. I provide an answer.
She didn't think at all. She didn't even think. Bull! You don't have to lie, Lucki. You don't have to. You know better. It actually bugs me.
So how did it get to me that the little one line that I needed to be put into Darren's speaking notes?
Okay. This is part 3, guys. She's still talking about it. She made a zo during the commission. That was a bunch of little things during the meeting. It was a bunch of little things. No, it was one thing. She's still talking about it. She's still upset over this gun thing. So listen to this. This I found, I don't know, why am I getting worked up? I just found it really interesting. Okay? Listen.
So how did it get to me that the little one line that I needed to be put into Darren's speaking notes?
What word did she use there, guys? That I needed. The little one line that I needed. Listen to it.
That the little one line that I needed to be put into Darren's speaking notes. How did it get to me that that one line was going to be in his speaking notes and it wasn't?
She needed. Remember that word, needed. Let's write that down. Needed. Because I remember doing a video in hearing that word, needed. And then I went back into my video and I found it. And I'm going to show you a short clip about the word needed. Not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal. Oh. I think it's a big deal. Why would you need a one line? Why would you need it? Why would it be needed? I'll tell you this. When I did my other video, Scott, the lawyer, brings up the word need. Watch this.
And do you know, if it wasn't a big deal and it wasn't that important and it's being blown out of proportion, why is Sharon Tessier's phone lighting up?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask Sharon Tessier.
Was it you calling her?
I doubt it.
Such a lie. But keep on listening. Sharon Tessier's phone lit up because of her. She's lighting up her phone. But she's like, I doubt it. I thought it was me. Because she couldn't believe that they left out that one line that she told them to put in. That she needed to put in. So Sharon's phone is lighting up.
Were you aware that a few minutes later at 4:49, Ms. Tessier sent another email to Ms. Scanlan saying, is there any way to relay to Jennifer/Darren the need to talk about the guns?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Nope.
I note that she's saying the need to talk to the guns. And we can presume that by Jennifer, she's referring to Jennifer Clark and Campbell being Darren Campbell.
It's her words, guys. She's lighting up the phone. She's using those words, need. She needed them to talk about it. Why? Because of the pressure from the Trudeau government. That's why. And she couldn't believe that they didn't say anything about it. So she lit up Sharon Tessier's phone. But she won't admit it on the stand when she's testifying. I don't know. You're going to have to ask Sharon about it. The need. Maybe I'm the only one that finds this very interesting. And sad, really. I mean, it actually makes me sad. I don't like it. I want my RCMP commissioner to really change her ways. I don't want an RCMP commissioner like this. She's in over her head. She can't seem to turn it around. She won't. She doesn't have the sense to do it. You know what? If I was RCMP commissioner, I don't know, maybe I would be screwed up too. I don't know. Maybe it's just too difficult of a job because can you name a good RCMP commissioner? Maybe it's an impossible job. Maybe that's what it is. But the problem I have with her is she called everybody systemically racist in the RCMP, and I can't get over that one. Believe me, I don't want her fired. I know, weird, right? I want Poilievre to hire the next commissioner. Not Trudeau. I don't want Trudeau to fire her. Or I don't even know if he can. I want her... Where is she? Where is she, by the way? No statement. And I'm not talking about BS Twitter. But that member that got murdered with a knife. Where is she? Why hasn't she spoken to that? Doesn't say a word about it? I don't care if you sent a couple of sentences on Twitter, but you don't say a word about it? It's kind of a big deal, isn't it? It's almost like she's on vacation right now. It's like she knew that this was going to come out, so she's going to take off for a while. I don't care if you take off for a while. You got to come back. And you got to talk about this member. Shaylin Yang. I want to hear your voice about Shaylin Yang. And by the way, a gun didn't kill her. A knife did. You asshole. Our focus on guns in Canada? Shut up.
How did it get to me that that one line was going to be in his speaking notes and it wasn't? It was probably me.
Here's the Sharon Tessier, okay? Sharon Tessier finally is going to say, my fault. After all this, somebody finally stood up, Sharon, and said, you know what, Commissioner, it's probably my fault. Listen to what Sharon says here.
Sure, because I don't even remember to me that that one line was going to be in his speaking notes, and it wasn't. It was probably me, Commissioner, because I don't even remember who my conversation was with. It was just flying today. I went back and asked, is Darren going to speak to this? And I was told, yes. He's putting it in himself. He's going to speak to it, but they don't want it in the speaking notes because they don't want it posted. I can't even remember who told me that. And whoever told me that, it's not even relevant probably. And, you know,
yeah, it is.
I took that, and then when I went back to ask Dan, is he going to be speaking about what Dan told me? But of course, because of course this is just like the biggest cluster ever. Dan said to me after, well, no, I didn't mean he was putting them in his notes. I meant he was putting them in his questions. So it all got bunged up. I don't know if it's because there were too many people inserting, like we had so many people inserting themselves. And so I take full responsibility for telling you they were in his notes. That was my understanding.
Wow.
I did not mean to misrepresent anything. That is what I was under the understanding that was going to happen. I was told that, and I can't remember by whom. And that person may have been misinformed as well. It's like we're playing a game with cans and a string. You know, it's very difficult, and I'm hoping Lia and I are speaking tomorrow about us sending some people out there, and I'm hoping that might help them a little bit that we'll have a direct line in there. I don't know.
Just going to listen to my dog bark. You guys wonder why I don't do videos enough? Good puppy.
Else to say. So I take full responsibility for giving you the wrong information. I honestly thought it was the right information. So I am so sorry for that.
Sharon Tessier just admitted fault. Lucki scolded them for, I don't know, the past 20 minutes at least. Like, this is only we don't even know how long. Probably forever. So Lucki's going to say, thank you, Sharon. Thank you for coming straight and making me understand what happened. And to the rest of the crew, I'm sorry I scolded you. I'm sorry I was an a-hole. Listen.
It's interesting because, we offered up communication assistance on Sunday. We offered it up on Monday. We offered it up on Tuesday, and none of it was,
No sorry. No nothing. I don't know. God. Do cops need sorries? Oh, they do. They actually do. We do. We do. Oh, God. Cops. Bosses. So quick to punish. Then we'll figure it out and we'll never apologize for it.
We got this. And to watch what happened last week, to watch the media chew us up, eat us up, and spit us out, and to watch to hear what the minister and the prime minister had to say about the RCMP's inability to communicate, I will never forget it, because I know we're better than that. And I know that we ought to have done better. And so it was very saddening for me, because I know that the people on the ground are working tirelessly.
Isn't it amazing that she's talking she's giving them hell for, we don't communicate enough. We don't say enough. We need to divulge more. Well, where are you? Where are you right now? A member in Burnaby was stabbed to death. She died. Why aren't you talking about that? She's giving them hell for not doing enough, but she's not doing it. You could get in front of a camera. You can say sorry to Yang's family, her husband, but you could talk about the homeless population and how they're just scumbags, all of them, completely. Every single homeless person is mentally ill and deranged. You could talk about that. I mean, if you really want to disclose and be... If you don't want to hide information, then come out and say it.
But it didn't get reflected to the outside world. It only stayed within the walls of the RCMP, and a lot of what we do needs to be bigger than us.
Then talk about it then, dummy. Stupid. You're the head honcho. You're the big mama. Get up in front of the camera and start talking about this stuff. Don't blame your little people. Blame yourself. Get out there. Say something. Talk about the homeless. Talk about that they're actually not really homeless. Talk about how they're scumbags. In Vancouver, there's 6,700 calls recently. 40 people did it. And they're homeless. Talk about that. No. They're vulnerable community. That's taking it too far, Clint. Well, you're taking it too far with these guys.
And when you're dealing with the biggest mass shooting in the history of Canada, it's not all about us. It's about the country, and it's about the country getting information. And I said this before, when we don't give the information, look what happens.
You haven't said anything about Yang. Give the information then. Give the information about Yang. Talk about the bad guy who did it. What community? He came from the homeless population. Terrible, disgusting community of people. There's nothing worse. Think about it. They're all mentally deranged. Why, Clint? Because they live on the goddamn street. If you lived on the street, I would say you're deranged and mental. Because you are. But we hide behind it. Oh, no. No, they just have problems. No, they don't. They're criminals, guys. They're criminals. Talk about that. I mean, if you're going to berate this group of people for not giving up information, you're not doing it. You're the head big mama. Get out there. Talk about it. Talk about all these issues. You're allowed to. You're giving them crap for not saying anything. You're not saying anything. You haven't said anything about Yang. And I'm not talking about Twitter, you dummy. I don't even look at Twitter.
Our members had to sit and watch us get chewed up about things that we couldn't do anything about because we did not have the proper resourcing to deal with the community.
She sits back and watches up getting chewed up and spit out, but she's not doing anything about it. You do it. You're the leader.
On this, and we were dealing with an unprecedented crisis within an unprecedented crisis. And so I think we have to just reflect back and think about how this can, the things that we need to do better. And so I figured we got through that wave until today, and yet I got hit again, not being able to come through for the minister. On this.
What do you mean? What do you mean you didn't come through for the minister? What are you talking about? Come through. What do you mean? Because you didn't disclose the details of the guns? You didn't come through for him? What did he really want, Brenda? What did he really want? We know what he wanted, right? And you didn't come through for him. We didn't. Insanity. I'm not saying Brenda Lucki. And don't shut off the video right now, okay? When I say this. I'm not saying Brenda Lucki politically interfered because she didn't. But the Trudeau government? Different story.
Not being able to come through for the minister.
She didn't come through for the minister. Because he didn't release the details of the guns. It was just a question, guys. It was just a question. I was already, she didn't come through for the minister. That's fucking unbelievable. I got to take a break. Such a big statement that nobody's talking about. I thought that you weren't trying to come through for them. I thought you weren't trying to help them out. They just asked a question. That's all they did. They just asked me a question. And then I told them afterwards, hey, no, we're not going to. We're not going to divulge okay, they were fine with it. We're not going to give the details. But she's saying they didn't come through. She didn't come through for them. Meaning she didn't help them with their gun legislation, and that's what she promised them. That's what she wanted to do. They requested that they tell the media the details of the guns that Wortman used. And the fact that this group didn't do it killed her reputation and made Canada more unsafe. I don't know. It's really it's mental. It's so mental. How do you come through for the minister, guys? By divulging the details of the guns, which is going to help the minister and the Trudeau government. I didn't come through for the minister because the minister told you that he wanted them to divulge the details of the guns. That's the only thing that makes sense. And that's gross. That's gross. And she's still talking about it, even though she's testified in wherever, saying that, no, the moment that Darren Campbell told me that it was still under investigation, of course, I'm not going to ruin that investigation, but she's still berating them. She's still talking about it, even after she knows that she understands that divulging that information would kill their investigation. But she's still mad, she's still upset, and she's still berating them. And she hasn't said sorry. Sharon Tessier admitted to being the one that was wrong, and she still hasn't said sorry about it. There's something loose going on in her head.
Not being able to come through for the minister on the simplest of requests.
You got to watch the words. Needed and requests. We didn't come through for him on the simplest of the requests. What's a request, Brenda? Because you said there was no request. There's that word again, request. He requested it. Bill Blair here, Brenda. Yeah, I want you guys to give up the information of the guns that Wortman used, okay? This is going to help out the gun legislation. Okay. Simple. What? Does she even know? Yeah, I know. Do you even know who you're mad at? I think she just said, shh. I think she's realizing, oh, God, what am I doing? What am I doing? That's what she's thinking right here. Listen.
I feel bad even having this conversation because I don't want any of you to feel bad.
Yeah.
But it's disheartening for me to try to manage our RCMP, which is bigger than Nova Scotia, and trying to at least give the Prime Minister a bit of information before he hears it on the news. That's kind of a normal course of events, and yet we couldn't do that. So there was no question that we had to cancel the media conference last Thursday because I look at...
Do you remember when she said, it was a bunch of little things, guys. It was a bunch of little things during the meeting, okay? It wasn't just about the guns. This whole recording is about the guns.
When people aren't prepared to go in front of the media, it shows. And we saw that last week in some instances. But I guess we have to figure out how we're going to move forward and be better because I cannot let this happen again. I already have a request sitting on my phone that the minister wants to speak with me, and I know exactly what it's going to be about. And I cannot let this happen again. I already have a request sitting on my phone that the minister wants to speak with me, and I know exactly what it's going to be about.
I can't have this happen again because I got a loser that wants to contact me. He's called my phone. He's got a request. He wants to talk to me. She works for the Trudeau government, not for you. Not for you, member. Not for any cop. She works for Trudeau and Bill Blair. She can't have this happen again because Bill Blair is upset. Whatever the hell his name is. I don't even know. He's upset. She can't have that happen again because that might upset them. Oh my God. Have you ever thought, Brenda, that you tell these guys to fuck off? That you're the fucking loser? No, she's run by the Trudeau government. I can't have this happen again because Bill Blair is upset with me. Insanity. That's how you're going to do your job? Why are you even there? Why don't you just let Blair and Trudeau run the RCMP? Really, that's what's happening. I can't have that happen again because you have somebody calling you that disagrees. Why are they right? Oh my God. It's incredible. I can't have that happen again because Bill Blair is now calling me. And I know exactly what it's about. It's because you guys didn't divulge the details of the guns. And I can't have that happen. I can't have that happen to me. It's making me look bad. We got to do what they say. Oh, you call yourself a leader? That's not leading. There's no courage of conviction there. You're a puppet. You're acting like a puppet. Why can't you be strong and proper? Have you been that beaten up in life? Have you been that beaten up as a RCMP commissioner that you can't stand up for yourself? You're mad because you're mad at them because Bill Blair called you after that meeting that they did, and you know he's upset. And why is he upset? Because he told you to get the details of the guns out on the media. That's why he's upset. But you won't admit it. You're protecting them. Part of me doesn't blame you. Like, it's your job. It's your job on the line.
Sitting on my phone that the minister wants to speak with me, and I know exactly what it's going to be about. And I can't even, I can't...
You can't what?
There's not much I can say except that, once again, I dropped the ball. So that's going to be the fourth time I'm going to say that to him.
Fourth time, guys. Fourth time that you've done this to me.
Going forward?
So I am a bit perplexed because I do know that comms here and comms in Ottawa, like Sharon and Lia, are speak constantly, and we have been in conversations about relief and translators and all of that coming and being embedded with the team.
And I was quite specific.
And they can confirm exactly what they talked about, but it's recognized that comms is the area that really gets hit on something like that. So they have been working on a relief team for that. And I'm also perplexed about comms here not getting the information that they need. Our comms sits with Darren in the command triangle and all the time.
Okay, so Lia, when was the first time?
Okay, listen to this. This is when she gives it to Lia Scanlan here. Just listen.
Okay, so Lia, when was the first time you sat in with the command triangle?
Just curious. Lia?
We got together with Superintendent Campbell last Thursday.
Okay, last Thursday. The event happened on Saturday. Normally, any command triangle I've been involved with, comms is sitting from day one into the command triangle. They can't report a lot of things that happened initially, but the first time that your comms got a full briefing was on Thursday, which was 4 or 5 days after the event.
How dare you?
So we definitely, we talk every day. We started talking on Sunday.
That's not good enough, Leah.
But embedding someone in the command triangle, no. And part of that reality is I've got a team.
Believe me, I like Leah. I'm making fun of Lucki, okay? I really like Leah.
Of 4. And 2, I have a 2 IC that I can rely on, and the others perform exceptionally well at the level that they're at. So,
but do you think...
I definitely don't feel left out. I think that I'm constantly, that's not a feeling that I have, and I would be honest and say it, and I would have dealt with it already by now, but that's not the scenario here. I think we're, so I don't know if it's the magnitude of it, the fact that there's 22 people and the site's so large, I really don't know what to say other than what I feel is that, and I've been very clear in requesting it. People on the ground, like bodies, would be wonderful. I'd love to have lots more people. I've got a ton of support from Sharon Tessier, Dan, Jolene, and they're doing everything they can. But at the end of the day, it's still pulling 20 hours a day for the small team here to actually.
And we offered you bodies. We offered bodies on Sunday. We offered bodies on Monday. We offered bodies on Tuesday and Wednesday. We kept offering
Yeah,
bodies,
Lia.
And we were told, no, you didn't need them.
You didn't need them, Lia.
I don't know what we can do. Like, we don't want you to be left alone working 20 hours a day. And then hearing on Thursday that maybe it's because you did not have the resources to be able to be at all places at all times. We got that. We know you're a small division.
So, sorry to interrupt. So, Sharon, I don't know if you want to speak in now, because I mean, the email that I sent on Saturday, I think it was pretty, I thought it was pretty thorough, pretty clear.
Nice hit! Damn. You know what's funny, guys? It ends there. It ends when Lucki starts getting really irritated. She's escalating. Lucki's escalating. She's getting more mad. Lia. Okay, so why? I just want to know, sir. Why didn't you do this, sir? I told you, Lia, I could have brought people over and you said no, sir. Lucki's about to blow a gasket. But the recording's over. Do you think the meeting lasted another hour? Of course it did. Absolutely. It went on and on and on and on and on. And I don't know why we only got part of the recordings. Here's the thing. You're not going to like me saying this. Probably. Brenda Lucki did not politically interfere. I don't think she politically interfered in the investigation. There's a lot of things that I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Fuck off. What she's done to this group of people. And we'll never know what was really said. But the Trudeau government, that's a different story. Bill Blair, that's a different story. Something weird going on there. Lucki's fibbing when she's testifying. She's protecting them. And of course you're going to. That's what you're going to do. But do I think that Lucki politically interfered in an investigation? No, I don't. I don't think she interfered in an investigation at all. She had no chance to. They just said, go away. We're not doing it. Would have been different if they did it. But they didn't. So she didn't. She's not going to get in trouble for that. There's no doubt that a message was relayed to Lucki saying, hey, you would really help us out if you divulge the information, the details of Wortman's guns. That would really help us out so we could push this legislation through. And Lucki said, absolutely. That's what we're going to do. It was her moment to shine. It was everybody's moment to shine. And when that didn't happen, well, you know what? She forced Lia Scanlan to go off work. And I don't know any details. I'm just guessing. It's my opinion. She forced Lia Scanlan. Lucki doesn't know it causes PTSD. She's not working anymore. Maybe she is. I don't know. This is what I think. I don't think Lia Scanlan's working anymore because of Lucki. It was the final straw for Lia Scanlan. Devastating. It's devastating what bosses can do to members and employees of the RCMP. That's why these guys are upset. They work their butts off only to have a meeting with this bigwig to just crap Shit all over them. That's what she did. Why? Why did she do it? Because she's disappointing Bill Blair and Trudeau. She's willing to stick up for those two and doesn't care. Doesn't care about her own membership. Doesn't care that she caused PTSD, Lucki. All a member needs is to be told that they're doing a good job. But you broke Lia Scanlan down. You caused PTSD. You once said, we have to figure out what triggers PTSD, what causes PTSD. That's it. That's it right there. You could only take so much. That's really it. Like there's levels. Like you hear about a cup being full and half full and whatever. Lia Scanlan's cup is full. And after that meeting, she overfilled. You could have brought it down to half, but you didn't. That's what bosses do in the RCMP. They take you to the breaking point. They ruin you. They make it worse. What happens in the outside world? Not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You just need support. That's all you need. And when you don't get it, when you get the opposite of support, it puts you over the edge. That's what happened to Lia. This story really is, it's not about anything else. It's about Lia Scanlan. And maybe it's about the ERT members, okay? Of course, it's about how shitty people are to each other, really. And Brenda Lucki was shitty to them that day. And they were like, here we are working our asses off. And what? What are you talking about? You dropped the ball for Bill Blair? Whatever his name is. Okay, I want to say Bill Burr, but who cares? You dropped the ball for Bill Blair. Like, she's worried about Bill Blair. Not worried about her membership. Gross. Gross. And there's this one last thing I want to play, okay? Which is kind of a big deal.
That if it wasn't a flag for you, then how important was it to your mind that this information be released in those briefings, and why was it important to you?
It wasn't important whether or not it was released.
It's not important, guys. That if it was released after what you just heard. It was very important that it be released. Oh, God. Brenda. Smarten up. Wow. I know I had a couple drinks, but God. You know what? The wife, she went to Comox. So she drove an hour to Comox. She has to drive an hour back. That's 2 hours. And it's 2 hours at the spa. So that's 4 hours. And I'm like, yeah! I'm going to sit down here and just talk to you guys and listen to these recordings. And I know it was sloppy. I know I'm all over the place. I know it's going to take me a couple of days to edit this, but anyways, guys, I can't talk anymore. We got some kind of alarm going off right now, and thanks for watching. Subscribe. Bye-bye.
flag.